Hey guys, Mooky here, and I'm back with another part of What If Izuku Had Archer's Powers. And this is part 17. In the last part, Izuku, Shoto, and Iida were fighting against Stain and the alleyway as usual, with Izuku releasing a broken version of Caliburn, stocking up with a lot of One For All's power into the blade, causing it to explode, almost killing Stain in the process, with Bakugo showing up as well. With that said, let's get into it. Right after explaining on why Bakugo's in Hosu, basically asking Best Jeanist to let him go, telling him that the hero killer is most likely still in Hosu, wanting to help protect his childhood friend as well. Not only that, he kept the secret about Iida most likely going to Hosu to get vengeance for his older brother to himself, not wanting to escalate what's going on. So they arrived. They also helped out a couple of the heroes alongside Endeavor to take down the Nomu. So the issue was cleared up a lot faster than it was in canon, with Bakugo arriving on the scene to seeing Izuku, Shoto, and Iida taking down Stain, with him being a little bit frustrated, saying that he missed all the action, and now they are going to get all the credit for everything. As Shoto says, I doubt that's going to happen, but if it does, too bad. As Bakugo gets pissed off more and more. What'd you say, half and half? I swear. As Iida begins coming up to Izuku, saying, Midoriya, Todoroki, I'm sorry. Because of me, the two of you got hurt. I'm so sorry for what I've done. As Izuku says, Iida, you don't have to apologize. I understand. If anything, I blame myself as well. As Iida begins wondering, Midoriya, why would you... Some friend I am. When I knew you were suffering, I didn't do anything to help you. And not only that, I'm supposed to be our class rep. I can't really call myself that if I can't even tell when my friend, my own classmate, is suffering. As Iida says, I'm so sorry, Midoriya. So, with Shoto saying, well, what all ends well. With Stain being curled away as he unconsciously saying, Midoriya, become a better hero. Not only that, take my sword. You might want to use it. Trust me. As Izuku hears this, as Stain is basically dragged away by not just Best Jeanist, but also Endeavor as well. As the cops finally showed up, there, Izuku, Shoto, and Iida are now in the hospital recovering from last night's events, with all three of them wondering what's going to happen now, as both Gran Torino, Manuel, and the chief of police of Hosu finally walked through the door, with Bakugo as well, saying that you idiot, man, you guys are serious idiots. With the chief of police saying, young man, let me tell what these boys are in for. As he tells them everything like just in canon, that they didn't have permission to use their quirks against Stain, and that they deal horrific damage to him. With Shoto still getting a little bit irritated, with both Iida and Izuku trying to hold him back alongside Gran Torino, with a certain little changes actually there that Izuku, with help of both Best Jeanist and Endeavor, I actually decided to change the story a little bit. That the three of them, alongside Bakugo, were helping take care of the remaining two Nomu in Hosu alongside the heroes and Manuel as well, with Best Genius and Endeavor taking down Stain, with them getting the credit. As the three of them are surprised hearing this, saying that they'll still get their moments to shine. It just won't be getting any credit for taking down Stain. As Izuku begins wondering, how are we going to explain my arm? I mean, it was completely cut up. You can't really say, that's up to you. You're going to be the ones to tell people that, young Midoriya. As Izuku looks at his left arm, realizing, man, I screwed up. Should have seen this coming. As he hears what Stain says about his sword. As Iida begins apologizing to Manuel about what he did, and Manuel scolding him for a bit, but just as glad that he's okay. That's all that matters. Soon after, Bakugo says, "You idiots. Guess you won't be getting any glory for that, but at least you're getting some credit. Just be glad about that. And in case you want to tell our stupid classmates, I'll back you up. We'll call it our little secret, so you guys owe me one." With them saying, "Thanks, Bakugo," and Izuku calling, "Thanks, Kachan." With him smiling, saying, yeah, whatever, and leaving the room. As everything goes on, Ochiko begins calling Izuku and asking how he was doing, especially what happened with Hosu, and Momo was also planning on calling Izuku, but is getting a little bit nervous, wondering what she should say, that she was worried about him and hoping that he's okay, but just decides to hold off on it and plans on keep on working with making new creations with Power Loader and Hatsume as well. Soon after, Izuku gets back to their room, and with Bakugo there as well, wondering on what's going on, as Iida still gets his lab resorts like in canon. He doesn't get as much damage like he did in canon, due to him not taking all the hits for both Shoto and Izuku. So he doesn't need to have nerve surgery, but he says that he still feels like he's messed up, and that he feels like he should drop out of class 1A and out of UA in general, saying that that's a stupid decision. As Bakugo tells him that, feeling like he's let him down, that he's let his family down for what he's done. As Izuku tells him, if that's what you believe you should do, then you should do it. But even if you want to drop out, don't expect me to let it happen. If you think I will convince you as hard as I can, I will tell you to not drop out. Besides, Class 1A wouldn't be the same without you, Iida. Don't you know that? As Iida begins tearing up, saying, "Thank you, Doria." With Izuku smiling, saying, "Anytime, buddy." With all of them feeling glad. However, just like in canon, Shoto looks at Izuku's hand and begins wondering if he's cursed, calling himself the Hand Crusher, with Bakugo there actually laughing his ass off as well, as usual. Soon, a couple of days after, they all return back to their internships, with Bakugo going home a little bit early, since he didn't get too much involved after all. With Shoto barely suffering any injuries, same thing with Iida as well. Izuku, on the other hand, stays almost as long as he did for his internship, because of his battle with Stain and his leg, and mostly due to him going over his limit with One for All. However, he stays almost half as long, because it's only his arm that takes fully damaged. it's in a cast for a short time, but but is now just wrapped up in bandages. He said they say he's able to replace the bandages over time so it could properly heal. There, he still trains with Gran Torino and teaches him basic martial arts, as he wonders if he should tell, as this is also during the time when Gran Torino told All Might about One for All most likely still being alive. Thinking of telling the boy, but remember that he told All Might to tell him everything instead. As Izuku begins practicing switching between One for All and projection, his switch time has actually gotten a lot more faster from 10 seconds to actually 5 seconds. So he's a lot more good now. And his internship ends with him leaving from Gran Torino's place, telling him, "You should be more careful, Midoriya. I think you got tons of potential, but you're reckless. You care more for others' safety than your own. Try to make sure that doesn't happen again." As he tells him, "I promise, but I can't make it a sure promise though." As he says, "You're so much like Toshinori." Toshinori? As Suzuki says, "Toshinori? All Might. That's his name. Guess it makes sense that no one knows his full name after all." So, as he says, "I'll keep that in mind." As he moves off, as the old man, "Hey," yells at him saying, "Hey, what's your name again?" As he says, "Seriously? This again?" "I'm Izuku Midoriya." As he tells him, "That's not right." As he remembers, "My name is Archer." And smiles off. As Gran Torino says, "That's right." And Izuku walks off with both his bag and his hero costume in hand, looking forward to a bright future after such a dark night. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you guys will check out my other videos as well. With that said, this is Mooky signing out. Later.